I lost my best friend today. To be very clear, I was cut off by one of my closest friends. Things are really hurt. This is the message that he sent me. Pause to read and please read thoroughly. Okay? So I'm going to give some context here. We're talking about my male best friend, the one that y'all saw in my moving video that moved me across the country, the one who took me to my ortho appointments when my arm got broken by my ex, the one who rented me a car when my ex totaled mine, the one who, I could go on and on, but this person held a very, very, very important place in my life, and it is super hurtful the way he went about it, texting me a message and then blocking me on all platforms so that I can't respond, but starting the message with, "Hey friend."
So she goes on for about 6 minutes, and so I'm going to give you the gist of their relationship. So the gist of their relationship is that they met at a bar in Atlanta where she was working, and then he became, he liked her initially in a romantic way, and he tipped her $150 that night. They became friends, and he was there as a lifeline to her, and she quickly let him know that she didn't find him romantically worthy, but he understood that, and then he just looked at her platonically, according to her, after that, and they became friends, and she was there for him going on through his dating process, her going through her dating process, but he was like that big brother to her that was, helping her out when she needed a car, helping her out when she needed some money, and so on and so forth, going on hiking trips together and doing all these other activities that they would do together. Now, on the surface, my first reaction was the fact that I too have platonic female friends that neither of us has ever thought about being with each other in a romantic way. The way we became friends was because of mutual other friends and so on and so forth. And I seem to get along better with women than I do with men because I'm very hard on a man. Like, I expect a hell of a lot more out of a man than I do out of a woman. So I understood it to a certain degree. But the difference is that this man had ideas of wanting to be with you. And although those things can change, the fact remains that that man will always look at you to a certain degree as someone that he desires to be with. So to say that the young lady that he's with now is being controlling is not necessarily plausible. If he's honest with her and how their friendship began, she's going to have problems with that because you've shown interest in her more than just friends, more than just platonically, and so that is a concern. I know that you should have trust within your relationship, and the young lady should trust that. But I always believe that you should always have preventive maintenance in your relationship. If you know that someone had interest in someone, then do not allow for that door to be cracked open, because at any point in the right situation, those feelings and thoughts can emerge. So why put yourself in that place? Now, the gentleman himself should have removed her without his friend, his girlfriend, his new girl he's dating saying anything, but he didn't. But he should have. But I can understand the other lady's concerns. The other aspect of it is most women are not going to want you to be a lifeline to that degree to another woman and her kids. That's not going to play in most situations. One of my friends, when her job switched her schedule and she couldn't pick her kids up from school anymore, I would pick them up, bring them over to my gym. They hang out at the gym. She would send food over there so that the kids could have something to eat. Now, she couldn't cook, so I started telling her, just buy some groceries and I'll take care of the kids, because I'm not feeding your kids this mess that you're giving them. But and during that time frame, I was helping my friend, but we didn't have anything going on. You see what I'm saying? We never did. So But if I were to have started engaging in a dating process with somebody, we would have to have figured out another method, because I'm overstepping if I'm trying to have this relationship with another woman. That's going to cause tension between her and I. So why would I invite that into that relationship? So it was at a time frame where I was fed up with dating, and I was like, I'm not dating anybody right now because y'all crazy, and I'm just not doing it. So plus, I wanted to spend more time with my children at that time frame, because I had been divorced for only about a year. So I pulled back to spend more time with my children anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But I've had other friends, like a friend that I've had for over 20 plus years. And, I was there through her youngest daughter, who is my favorite. I'm sorry. The other girls, but you know which one's my favorite. But, I'm their uncle. You know what I'm saying? And they are my friends. I was supportive of her and her husband. And then when they broke up, I was cool to be friends with both of them. I had no problems with that. He didn't feel so much, but that's him. There is no danger of me and her ever getting together, because if we wanted to, there were plenty of opportunities for that to happen. So my wife understands that. But one of the things all my female friends do understand is that when I'm with someone, the amount of communication that we have pulls back. The amount of interaction we have pulls back. The amount of help I can be to them pulls back. And one young lady, she understood that completely. And when one of my friends was being physically and mentally abused, it wasn't me that said, come stay with us for about 6-8 months so you can get on your feet. It was her who said, come stay with us for 6-8 months so you can get on your feet. So because she understood and recognized that this relation, there's nothing heightened in this relationship. But in her situation, that's not the environment. The environment is that this man has been acting like a man that I like to utilize the term, he's lying in wait. He's sitting there waiting for an opportunity to get with you. He's waiting for the right moment that you're there for him. He's already probably in love with your kids. He's, to a certain degree, infatuated with you. No man is spending... If a man has sexual interest in you at one point, he's not going to continue to spend that much time with you and energy with you and money with you if he still doesn't have that. All right. Now, if it's just a pure give and take friendship, it has its boundaries, and he's going to maintain those boundaries because he's going to be thinking about his own life first before he thinks about being there for you and subjecting his relationships with other people to the pressure of, this is my friend and I'm not changing it. And oftentimes, that stuff doesn't work anyway. It just doesn't work. When I had this friend for 7 years, and for 7 years, it was just friends. I never thought about dating her. But at the end of that 7-year time frame, around the 8th year, all of a sudden she wanted to date me. And I was like, no, why? This is not going to work, right? It's just not. And like a dumbass, with some pressure, I said, okay, let's give it a try. We gave it a try. It failed miserably. And that friendship is forever gone. So if you started out that way and someone was harboring something for you, when they say, ooh, maybe, or even if they was never harboring anything for you, but they done been through so many bad relationships, they then say, oh, this person is my friend and we get along so well. Y'all got along as friends well. Entering into a relationship is a different scale. Don't do it. Stay away from that nonsense. And if you do have someone who does try to get rid of your friends who are straight up platonic friends, then yeah, that could be. But there's a process by which you introduce them, and there's the boundaries that they must obtain. If a person doesn't respect your relationship, then they gotta go. In the same way, I've been in a situation where another person who I considered just a friend then overstepped their boundaries as a friend, and so they had to be cut off, let go. You can't be my friend anymore. So y'all got to recognize these things. And that young lady, no, you need to be cut off. That man did the right thing.